Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome to the next episode of Let's Be Mean to Russians. So, after the rather one-sided butcheries of the last few episodes, the Russians have kind of gotten a bit back into order now that they've moved off the tanks. They called off the counterattack in this general area because of, well, because they would be charging me with nothing but tanks at that point, and that probably seemed like a rather bad idea for them. So, just as a little bit of a note, let's actually take a look at the so-called historical situation. So, historically, the Germans had not yet taken Chulovo, and they hadn't really advanced that far up north either, so we are certainly ahead of schedule, there's little doubt about that. The 431st Tank Battalion has not really been able to do that much of an impact yet, and the 687th Rifle Regiment was pretty much hindered from even appearing. The starts of the regiment were annihilated around Yakovlevka nice and quickly, and they have not been able to bring in any further forces, as well. Anything they'd have to bring in at this point would probably just get butchered as they try to force their way into Yakovlevka. So, what are we going to do? Well, we want to take Tavrovo. We want to finish off the remaining Russians in this general area. I'm tempted to... I've got... Yeah. The thing is, if I put it off one more turn, this is the last real... I've got maybe one more day worth of sunlight left, so it's getting uncomfortably late to the point where I would really like to just get my ass into Tavrovo and take it over. And then we can eventually wipe out this last pocket of resistance during the night using flares, for example. As I believe we are on turn 10 now, out of 13, so there's not that many more turns left available to us. So, what are we going to do? Well, that is a pretty damn good question. This unit is pretty much out of ammunition and, well, men for that matter, so we will be pulling this back out. Actually, yeah, Kian heavily wounded 11, so this one is going to go out. This one is pretty much ready. These guys are out. We'll be moving that out as well. How about these guys? These guys are ready for action, and these are as well. My Pioneer attachment is... Yeah, these are fresh troops. Lovely, 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 lovely. Absolutely delightful. Let's push them forward. And I think what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? I think we're going to be pulling back this unit of half-tracks. These poor bastards haven't seen much action, neither have these. They're actually not in range to cross over the river yet. I'll pull them back here. They can be sent in to finish off the forces to the south, I think. The Panzers should be available for a push. Clearing out Tavrovo during the middle of the night is not something I am hugely keen on, if I am to be completely honest with you. I wish I had some more reinforcements available with some artillery, but sadly, that is not something I possess at this point in time. We will be moving these down here. I'm not entirely sure if these artillery units are fully equipped. I think maybe I've got a shot with the batteries. Regardless, they are half-tracks, so, you know, the machine guns will certainly not go to waste. The short-barreled Panzer IIIs, I don't think we're going to have too much to do with them over here, so I'm tempted to move them down. I would kind of like to use the Leichte Infanterie Geschützen to break this open. I think in all due likelihood we are simply going to... Oh, I really don't want to attack this at night, but... It'll allow me to move more units in to actually deal with them, so let's go clean this out first. Let's just take care of the forces to the south. Nice and simple, then we can start moving in some more armoured elements to help out. The short barrels will be moving down here as well. The more short barrels, move them up here. These are long barrels. I think we will be moving the long barrels north. These packs are practically out of ammunition, so we will move them out. We can't quite get the long barrels up there. Berger and his units over here. Lieb, Bleichmann. We've still got some artillery. We'll move them up. Let's see. How far could we get them? We don't want to be moving the F2s, really. Nah, could we... No, I don't think we get the long barrels. I was thinking maybe moving the long barrels all the way up there, but that's not going to happen. The repair units, of course, out, so that we can pull that back. Maybe we just simply retreat this unit, because it doesn't have much in the way of actual forces left. It's only got 2 damaged Panzer IIIs, or actually 1 halfway operational Panzer III, so we can retreat that and move them up in their stead, which will give us another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 long-barreled Panzer IIIs. Beautiful, very beautiful indeed. And we've got some more guns that will be in defensive positions, which is always nice. The tanks, these have good ammo. We'll move up the anti-tank guns into that position. These boys are down to very, 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 very low ammunition. They're pretty much just a holding force at this point. But we do need holding forces as well, to be honest. We could probably move up Trapp and his Panzer Grenadiers, especially as they have a bit of artillery at their disposal. Lieb, he's pretty much out of ammo. I'd kind of like to just keep the Junkers in the fight, though. It's getting too dark to actually utilize them, I'm pretty sure, but nevertheless, we would like to have them in the rough area. Now it's time to start thinking about the supply half-track. What units would we actually want supplied? This unit is pretty much done for. This unit could maybe be made halfway combat operational. 4 out of 8. We will disband this unit, which brings 1 squad up to full strength. This one's not horrible. It's not fantastic either. We got a single squad. This unit is practically full strength after having switched around. The anti-tank gun might be handy. We'll move that in there, and we'll move the supply truck up here. That's the plan, so we should be able to resupply 1 more unit. But which unit? Okay, this one looks okay. Yeah, let's reinforce. Let's reinforce that one. And we can move in these half-tracks to provide extra fire support up to the north, should that be necessary. They're getting a wee bit low on fuel, which is not fantastic, but I think, yeah, they've got enough to be relatively useful to me. This unit is also something I might consider reinforcing, simply because it does have a reasonable remaining forces. I might just switch that out with the leg. It's got full ammo though, so probably not. That seems like a bit of a waste. Otherwise, this is actually a more or less competent combat unit. Not too problematic. Hunter and his boys, that's a fresh unit. Those are advancing south, and this one is... Stop pressing the escape button, Arch. That'll help. This one's doing very well, but they're practically out of ammunition, so I will be moving them back as well, reinforcing them. So that'll give me at least 2, maybe 3 platoons worth of combat troops back into relatively effective fighting conditions. None too shabby, none too shabby. Might be able to squeeze out 1 more platoon, if possible. Okay, so, offensive options. Do we want to be attacking in the north? Middle of the night? Lacking flares? It's not something I'm hugely interested in. I'll take them on in a defensive fight if I have to, but I think we are going to relax otherwise. I'm not over... I kind of want to push them out just to grab this last victory point, but it's not something I'm hugely interested in. I think I'm going to take a chill pill and see what happens. Maybe I can dig in the Panzer IVs, that would be delicious. Maybe even the long-gun Panzer IIIs. If I could at the very least wait one turn for the 5cm packs to get entrenched, that would help a lot. So I think we're going to just chill to the north, and we're just going to carry out the attack to the south, knock out this area so we can move up a further 2 or 3 platoons against the attack on Tavrovo. So, what, I wonder, is I can't actually capture this, I think. I'll move a unit so I can check next turn. That's what is the AI's response. It will try another attack up north, but it is removing its armored support. Interesting. That'll open it up for a counterattack in that area. Well, I don't give a shit about the counterattack here. I will simply attack into this area, clean them out, and I'm pretty sure they'll cancel that attack. If not, I'll push on, I'll take all of Tavrovo during the night. So, we'll, actually, the tank forces will be engaged in this, along with the Panzer IIs. They'll be in the middle of the forest, though. It's not an ideal position. Well, we'll see. If they force me to fight it, I will of course fight it, but for the moment, let's take on this battle. So, after previous engagements, we know that the enemy do not have that many heavy weapons in the area, which is nice, but we also know that the enemy has a mortar, another goddamn mortar company down here, which is annoying. But that's something we're gonna have to deal with. Now, the enemy has been shown a certain love for this area, constantly deploying large numbers of troops down here and not in the city for reasons, which I'm not entirely sure of, so we're going to go under the assumption that they're going to do that again, I think. It's not a terrible assumption. Even if they aren't down here, we'll sweep through here with the tanks and the vast majority of our forces. If there's nothing here, we'll sweep up and we'll use those to cover our forces as they search the woods and the city. But if they are down here, well, wonderful. We get to shoot them. Lots. So that would be nice. Spread out the tanks. This one's actually immobilized. Why is it immobilized? Engine. I guess there's something wonky with its engine. Okay, well, this area seems good. We'll place it up here, where it looks like it's got a reasonable field of fire. Maybe this is even better, is it? Not really. Maybe it's better down here. Actually, it might be. Yeah, let's place that down here then. So it can hopefully contribute a bit to the fight, even though it is immobilized. And we'll spread these out a little bit. We'll have the combat pioneers. They can advance down here. Now, we know the enemy has a fair bit of mortars, so we want to scatter a fair bit for safety's sake. Probably one telephone company, and we'll place the rest of you up here, and you will advance. I'll try to push them out in front of the tanks just to protect them against anti-tank grenades and the likes. Panzer IIs, not the most valuable units, of course, but you know, you don't want to lose them just because some little bastard jumped out with an AT grenade or something simple like that. Despite mortars, though, the enemy has apparently quite limited capabilities when it comes to heavy artillery, so we can pretty much just deploy the LIGs out here, and we will use those as counter-battery fire. Let's see, we'll place one machine gun here just to cover the city in case they try to assault through it. We'll put one spotter there, and we'll put one commander with the battery, of course, and we'll put the other spotter with the tank thrust. And we got two more machine guns, which we're going to place out here to cover the forest, should that be needed. We'll have another one join the infantry. Commander will stay with the battery, and this guy can... yeah, you can stay there. We've got one telephone company there. He can command that. We'll have the second telephone company here. Let's see, Leichte Feldhaubitz. Those are going to be over there. SIG. Schwer Infanteriegeschütze. You can be here, where you can help out firing into the city. Leicht. Mussers. Mortar. Well, mortar. It's technically designated a mortar, but it's a very large gun. I believe it's the 210 millimeter, the 210 millimeter Messer, the super heavy. I think that is. I believe its designation was MRS-18, although I'm not actually entirely sure right now. SK-18. Now that I know were the large guns, so yeah, we'll place those over there. So they'll be taking care of any houses that might be needing walloping. And the LEFs can be over here, and I'll designate multiple artillery fire zones in this area so that I can beat the shit out of any potential enemy infantry force in the area. And then of course we've got the wire half-track. You can just help out down here with some machine gun fire, and the same can your boss, I think. Okay, that looks halfway reasonable. So the plan is, check this area, if there's enemies, wipe them out, push forward, chase out anything that's in the forest, because the AI loves to place stuff in forests, and then support the advance into Tavrovo along this line with tanks, giving supporting fire and heavy artillery as needed. If you want to see how that works out, do pop on over to the battle video. I have been Arch. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you soon. Have a good day.